Hey. Hey. So, I haven't had a chance to talk to you since Board this season. Yeah. Remember this guy?
No.
This is Megatron.
No.
Perhaps you'd recognize him better if he was transformed. Because this is a vintage G1 Transformer. No, leave that alone. You don't need to touch that. This is a very vintage Transformer. And henceforth being vintage, it's worth quite a bit of money. And seeing as this season on board, you took it upon yourself to try to create some kind of a joint collaboration with Pixel Dan this year. Yeah, you sure did. You tried to join forces with the Pixel One. You tried to join forces with the Pixel One to take me out. And to take me out, you tried to get Pixel Dan to basically attack me with none other than this. Look familiar?
Is there an airplane for him?
The airplane isn't necessary.
The airplane should be very serious. We should go look at that. You should go check that out.
Does this look familiar to you, Puppet?
No.
This is a very expensive toy. Do you know where this toy was?
No.
He was in the back of a toilet.
Why would you put an expensive toy in the back of a toilet?
Because you put him there.
What? That's what I do.
You know what?
Accusations. I want my lawyer. See, if I was trying to tell you, why would I use a toy line? That makes no sense.
G1 Transform the toy.
Why would I use a toy line? Why would I not use a real one?
Because you didn't realize it was a toy.
It's on the shelf with the other toys.
Pixel Dan didn't put it in the toilet.
I don't know that.
You know what?
It's just him to put the blame on other people. Vroom! It was probably like, vroom! I'm gonna put it in the toilet. I'm gonna blame the puppet.
Why don't we review a toy?
Yay!
And then later I'll take you to out into the woods, and
That's not a real
I'll put some pellets, because this actually does fire pellets. Because this is actually a Japanese version of that G1 Transformer, and I actually can shoot you.
Yeah.
I hate you so much sometimes. G1 back on the shelf, and we'll review a toy. Stupid.
It's not even where I'm coming from on the shelf. Dummy. Jeez.
Shut up.
Hey boys and girls, get ready for an all-new toy review with Devall and my best puppet pal, Puppet Devall! Games and kids.
Hey gang, welcome to an all-new review right here on ToyWorldOrder.com, starring me, Devall, and my buddy, kinda, sorta, Puppet Devall.
No!
Putting expensive 80s toys in back of toilets in plastic baggies.
Move on!
I've tried, and it's very hard for me. So, this time out, I decided we'd take a look at another Transformer. Yeah, I know you like Transformers. I like GoBots and Rocklords. I like Rocklords the best because they transform into rocks. They transform into rocks. How much cooler can it get? You know, Transformers Age of Extinction is coming out, which is the new Transformers film this summer.
No.
It's got Dinobots in it, big dinosaur robots.
No.
Oh, okay. You must be are you a G1 purist? Are you a Transformers purist?
No, but I mean, the Michael Bay the poo-poo.
Michael Bay is the poo-poo.
Michael Bay is the turtles.
Well,
Turtles?
yes, Ninja Turtles, yes. Your opinion, I'm sure, is shared by many in the online community and the geek communities. I could care less, really.
And people like me. I'm like you and your rock lords.
I like Rock Lords.
Yes, I do.
But you know, the Age of Extinction toys are out. They're on shelves now, everywhere. Walmart's, Target's, Toys R Us. And the one toy that I saw that really caught my eye, beyond all the other ones, because I've looked at the other toys and been like, oh yeah, to you, Michael Bay, is the poo-poos. To me, the new Age of Extinction toys, for the most part, are the poo-poos.
But this is just simple.
What?
Okay, they're not technically the same thing, but they're the same thing.
Right.
They're the same thing.
Kind of. But one that did catch my eye was this one, which I thought was really cool, which is the Evasion mode Optimus Prime. And this is actually a really cool, in the movie, Optimus Prime is disguised as a very familiar looking...
His name is disguised, son.
Yeah,
Look at Optimus Prime!
Well, but his truck mode...
And the child in the 1980s would know exactly who that is!
His truck mode in this film at the start is is one that we're all very familiar with. This is a very short-nosed cab. It's the G1 Optimus, as seen on the back here. It is the very familiar, very original G1 Optimus cab in a movie body. So I saw this on the shelf, and this is really the only Age of Extinction toy that I saw that really caught my eye that made me go, I kind of want that, because I think it's really the best of both worlds. It combines both the movie universes, which somebody thinks Michael Bay is the poo-poos, and the G1, the Transformer, the original Generation 1 line, which is really cool. The packaging for this is pretty cool. Of course, most of the Age of Extinction toys all share this same new design, the Transformers logo on the side, that artwork here, the figure in the center here in a window, kind of a smaller window since the artwork takes up most of the box here. And then the sides, of course, you've got the Transformers logo there. You've got the Autobot symbol and a little fire burst going on there. And in the back, you've got a picture of the Evasion mode Optimus in both his robot and his vehicle mode, as well as a look at the, I believe that's the regular, the deluxe class Grimlock, I believe on the back there.
Yeah.
You're not a big fan of the color of Grimlock in this, right? Yeah.
And the panda actually looks like a dinosaur. Japan is better than us.
Yeah.
Oh, hail the Emperor!
But the box aside, I like how on the boxes now.
How come it looks gray in the picture, but his red and blue is a toy?
Well, you see, Hasbro decided to release a more. I'm explaining it to you. The reason that he's gray on the package.
Yes.
Which is the color he is in the movie at the start, because the truck cab is gray. And the reason the toy is the more original colors to Optimus is because Hasbro apparently thought it'd be great to not make a figure that was represented in the movie. Instead, make him as he's represented, because they decided to... Well...
It's a Super.
Well, yeah, but they decided they wanted to get this figure more in the hands of collectors.
I understand it. Why not do one that's actually movie accurate?
Well, there is one that's movie accurate. Unfortunately,
Japan.
It's imported from Japan. That is in this color scheme. This gray and this off-white-ish color scheme. So. Yeah, that's why Hasbro did that, because they decided collectors want this Optimus. They don't want a gray Optimus.
Japan, land of the rising sun, and the toys that are movie accurate, and not poo-poo, poo-poo.
It's a lot of poop. There's a lot of poo-poo.
Yeah, look at it! Look at it!
Anyway, as I was saying before we got into the discussion of that, I like on the back here, it says, change in 18 steps.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's almost a Japanese Transformer themselves. I thought they were supposed to be like just a whoop, and then it's done.
No, they have those where it's just one step transformations. Yeah. Puppet Devall apparently thinks they're poo-poops.
Well, they're stupid. They're stupid.
Well, what do you say we...
They're stupid children.
You know...
Children these days are apparently too stupid to transform into
Hey, can I tell you a secret? Do you know that most of your fans are children? You just call them stupid.
But obviously are. If they're watching a review of this toy, then they are obviously the 1% of the highly intellectual. Which by definition, as my fan, they are already.
What do you say we open this Optimus Prime up so Puppet Devall will stop digging his own hole, and take a look at him a little bit closer in detail and show you the transformation?
Poo-poo.
Poo-poops. Let's open him up and check him out. So, of course, with the new Transformers movie, as in Transformers Age of Extinction, we get all new Transformer toys from Hasbro. And this one probably is my favorite out of all the Transformers Age of Extinction figures that are out currently for this new film. I'm not a fan of most of them, but this one it has a kind of a special place in my heart because it combines both the movie version as well as the original G1 Optimus Prime Transformer, the original cab version of it, the short nose six-wheeler semi. I don't know why I couldn't spit that out. That's all, folks. Evasion mode Optimus Prime is really cool. Unfortunately, this is not how this appears in the film, of course, to kind of give him that very recognizable Optimus Prime color scheme. They decided, since even though he appears when he's in this mode in the film pretty rusty and beat up, hence the Evasion mode Optimus Prime, because he's supposed to be in hiding, they chose to go with the very colorful red, blue, and silver of the Optimus Prime, the classic colors. And unfortunately, a lot of people weren't happy about this because they wanted the one that looked like, the one that he appeared in the movie, and that one is coming out. But unfortunately, this is the one that's out right now that we have to deal with. Optimus here, he comes with, let's take his rifle out of here, out of his hand for a second here. Optimus in robot mode is pretty cool. His articulation and his posability is kind of lacking a little bit. His shoulders here, nothing here is on a ball joint. For some reason, Hasbro decided to go away from ball joints with most of the Age of Extinction toys that I'm aware of, and went back to the old-fashioned kind of G1 stuff where everything is pinned, which basically means that all the joints have a metal rod in between the two joints, holding them together so they're allowed so they can move. But Optimus has he's got articulation here at the shoulder, so he can move up and down. Of course, he can move in and out because of his transformation. He can swivel at the elbow here, so he can move his elbow left and right. His forearm can move up and down and up and down. His hands here, while are kind of hard, they do move, they do swivel left and right, so he can actually hold his gun in this mode. So he can actually, bring his hand up and hold his gun. His head here, his head has some nice movement to it. It can look up, it can look to the side, it can look down. It's got a lot of nice fluid movement. His hips here basically move forward and back. It kind of can move in and out a little bit, but because of the tire, you don't get a whole lot of, you can put the tire down and get a little bit more articulation there. But the way he's supposed to look like in robot form, the tires kind of prohibit that, because if you do this, then it just looks silly. It just looks like he's got a tire hanging out down here. His knee here, got some good range of movement there. It can bend. Bends pretty good at the knee. Bends forward a little bit too. Bends back really good. The little knee plate can move up and down to allow that movement of the knee. And then you've got his foot here, which moves up and down, and it can pivot. It does got a little bit of a pivot here, so it can kind of cock to one side here, so you can kind of get him standing kind of funky. So you do get that little pivot there. But that's about it when it comes to articulation on this Optimus. There's, like I said, there really is not a lot to the articulation of this Optimus, as they kind of, like I said, did away with the ball joints, and that kind of sucks. Optimus has a gun. He comes with his blaster, which actually does fire a missile. It's all fired into my hand here. So there is a little firing missile here that plugs in, and it's fired by the little button on top here. And it's kind of fun because he's got this huge stock with a trigger here, but he doesn't actually hold it from there. He holds it from this little peg right here, so you can peg it into his hand there, and he can hold his blaster up to fire at the Decepticon. So that's kind of cool. Transformation on this one is a little bit more complicated, and even after playing with him for a while, I myself am still not comfortable. And I'll walk you through the transformation the best I can. I transformed him back and forth a number of times, and his arms always give me, are always kind of tricky, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just me, but I always have trouble with the arms here. But to start, what's funny is he comes in robot mode in the package, and all of your instructions start from the truck mode. They're unlike other Transformer toys, like for instance Cosmos and Payload here, this little one that came with Cosmos and Payload. The transformation actually starts out here with Cosmos in robot mode. So you can follow it step by step to transform into a robot, from robot into his vehicle mode. Whereas, for some odd reason, and maybe this is just with Evasion mode Optimus Prime, but it starts with him in cab mode instead of robot mode as it comes in the package. So you kind of have to work your way backwards up to number 1. So you got to work your way from 18 to 1, which is kind of tricky. Unfortunately, for some kids, it's going to be a little complicated because they're really not used to reading that far back into, you know, trying to go backwards and just following it. I could be wrong, man. Maybe I'm not giving kids enough credit. I don't know. Pretty easy though. The feet here, really simple. Feet come up and then pivot down, just like that. So you push them up, and then you pivot the back heel down, and then those come together. Straighten the legs out here, and we'll actually lock. And you can lock thanks to, there's some little locking mechanisms there that once you push them together here, see what I mean? I always have a little bit of trouble transforming Optimus to get the pegs in the right holes here for some reason. There we go. So the feet lock together just like that. So you've got the feet locked together, and then basically he sits down just like that. So you've got the back cap half of him all ready to go. And then basically what happens is this is how I follow the instructions. I bring his windows out like this, and then this top half here swings down, and then you pull, at least on the way I do it, is you pull this chest piece here up, so you're able to basically, once this is all the way down like that, you're basically able to swivel the head back. So the head is now hiding underneath there. And then on the doors, there's a little piece here on each side that flips up, just like that. So you flip those two pieces up. I'll leave those turned in for a moment. And the arms here are kind of tricky, because the arms basically have to fold back towards his main body, just like this. And then when you fold his arms up, this is where it gets a little tricky. But once you get his arms up in there, and you can fold them back, you can already see that it starts to form the very familiar window of the cabs there. Once you get the arms in the proper position and can swing them up and around. It just gets a little tricky because of the elbow joints here, because you have to actually slide them up, pivot them over, and then push them down, just like that. So we've got the very familiar looking windows of the cab. Back here, the little windows close, just like that, and then you raise the smokestack, just like that, just up like that. And then here, what you'd actually do is you actually push the front, because there's two little pegs here, and if you push those in, just like that, basically what we're going to do is we're going to push those in, and they're going to snap into place, just like that. And then you're going to push. See, and that's the problem, is that if you don't get them in there just right, unfortunately, the pegs will slide back up on you. So it's a matter of getting those to slot right down in there. There we go. There we go. And then you push the front down just like that. Do 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 do. And you have Evasion mode Optimus Prime, and his very familiar Generation 1 semi-cab. It had a little short-nosed semi-cab, and I love this. That's why it's my favorite, because it, like I said, it perfectly blends both versions. It blends the Generation 1, the very familiar to kids my age and to Transformer fans everywhere, that iconic Transformer short-nosed semi here, the trailer cab there. as well as the Transformers that are very familiar to today's kids of these movies, the movie generation here, of the look of the Michael Bay Optimus Prime designs. Because it's very cool. And what's great here is Evasion mode is on top here where his head is underneath there's actually a peg where you can actually plug his gun right into the top of the cab, which gives Optimus some extra firepower as he's driving around fighting Decepticons. It's really cool though. I really do like this figure a lot. I think it's a really cool, really great figure. The transformations, like I said, the arms, for me at least, are a little tricky to get them in there just right. But once you do get him in there right, he looks really cool. I mean, this is an awesome Transformer. I really do like how this Transformer turned out. And if all the Age of Extinction toys would have been like this, I would have bought them all. But since this is what we get, I'm happy with it. I'm pretty cool with it. As I said, I really like this Optimus. I think if you find this Optimus, which the Evasion mode Optimus is pretty... I've seen him quite a few places, so he's not terribly difficult to find. But if you can hunt him down, you could pick him up. I would suggest it because it added to your collection because he's well worth it. There's a couple of the Age of Extinction toys that are well worth it, and this is one of them to pick up if you're a collector or just a huge fan of Transformers. Pick this one up because he's very cool. I mean, look. Choo! Ha ha ha! Now I gotta go find that missile. Crap. Well, there you go, guys. There's a look at the Evasion mode Optimus Prime. I still think he's a cool figure, even though Puppet Devall seems to think that it's okay.
I like all those glasses.
I mean, it's...
I just wish I had outfits that were accurate.
Yeah, I mean, it's got some decent articulation to it. I find it weird, though, looking at these new Age of Extinction toys, is that normally with Transformer toys, we're used to getting Transformer toys that are made pretty much almost built entirely out of ball joints. Like, they're built...
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Yeah, this one's not. This one is very much... all pins, like it's all pins and shoulders, and if you break something on this, you break something on this. I mean, it breaks, which is kind of sad because I know for a while there, a lot of fans got kind of spoiled because they were able to take regular Transformers apart and pop them apart and repaint them and redeco them and stuff. These are a little bit harder because then you have to know how to take pins out of stuff, and that's a pain. So I'm told. I've never really... Yeah. Have you taken pins out of toys?
I plead the fifth.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. So all in all, yeah, the Evasion mode Optimus Prime, the transformation is pretty easy. I mean, like, you know, we went over it. It's a... Huh? Yeah, he's a very easy, you know, easy Transformer to transform. He just, you know, in 18 easy steps, so it says. Which I still find very funny. It's like, transform your Transformer in 18 steps. It's like, oh. As Puppet Devall would say, and while Puppet Devall still thinks that he's it's the poo-poos. Yeah, it's okay. Like I said, this was the only Age of Extinction toy to really catch my eye that really made me go, I kind of want to get that because it looks kind of cool. And while I'm happy with this toy, I'm happy with what we got, what was released. I'm happy with how it looks. Overall, it is just kind of okay. It kind of goes along with the rest of the Age of Extinction toys to where, you know, we're getting. It seems like Hasbro is not spending the money on these toys like, you know, like we once were witness to, and you know, by all means, I mean, we're not going to see toys as they once were, you know, but the Transformer stuff always seemed like it had quite a bit of money put into tooling, and you know, it was always shared with Takara to make a lot of these toys, and now it seems like that is even being skimped on to a degree because we're not getting that same style, that same type of in-depth designs and stuff. So kind of sad, really. Kind of pointless when you think about it, because it'd be cool to have really nice Transformer figures again, but I think those days have come and gone, and now we live for a third-party Transformers pretty much to kind of fill our need of really cool-looking Transformers. Puppet Devall knows, because you know, he's broken quite a few third-party Transformers over his many days. Yeah, luckily none of them are mine, It just happens to be when we've gone to visit Dave Draper. Puppet Devall seems to like to break Dave's stuff. Yeah. Oh, Dave's a poo-poo too, huh? Pixel poo-poo. I don't think Pixel Dan would be quite pleased with you calling him a poo-poo. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. I don't know that for sure. Says Puppet Devall is, you know, one of these days I'm going to call Pixel Dan. Wow. Go see if you can find a Lego real quick to eat. No, he says. Again, I'm really kind of, you know, I'm happy and pleased with this figure. As I sit here and try to transforming him on screen like this as I'm talking is kind of a fun challenge. But like I said, this is probably, you found a Creo. Why did you just eat a knockoff? You don't like knockoffs.
And that is why you do not eat Creos, because they will kill you.
Yes,
Creos equal death.
Yes, they will kill you.
Creos equal death.
They apparently will come close to killing you. I can't believe you ate a Creo after all the trouble we've had. Well, I told you to find a Lego, not eat a Creo.
I'm more than I found a Creo. I almost gotta like spend 5 minutes transforming the stupid thing.
I got it this close as I need it to be. Oh yeah.
Oh, that was sad.
Yeah, I fired the missile. But all in all, very cool Optimus Prime figure. I do like it. I am glad that I picked it up. Like I said, I won't be picking up any more Age of Extinction figures unless something else cool comes my way, like a, you know. It's hard to say, really, because I'm just not a fan of how these new toys look. But I was a fan of the Evasion mode Optimus Prime, and I think it's really cool. So I think if you find it, pick it up. It's a nice piece to have in the collection. It's really cool to have as a Transformer fan. It's pretty neat. There you go, guys. That'll wrap it up for me and Puppet Devall here. And until next time, the Transformers! Michael Bay! What puppet?
Purple robot balls. Purple.